really you when you need it. Really, they left me with no choice to aim for a meal. Found out that love shit was fake, that shit not even real. I'm trying to cope with all these demons yelling in my ear. Before you correct anybody, just look in the mirror. Like I lost, let them slot me down, I should've been the rear. They speaking down on my name, but I don't even care. Once they see all the moves I make, they gon' wish they was there. Once they see all the moves I make, they gon' wish they was there. This here is just not taking his face. I'm on a whole nother level, I've been elevated. She say she missing me, I'm sorry, I'm so concentrated. 25 with kids, you know I put food on the table. How can I help you when I help myself? You must be crazy. My heart so cold, I lost so much and I just had to take it. Can't let them take me off my pivot, I'm so dedicated. No, I can't let them take me off my pivot, I'm so dedicated. Taking medication, ain't good for my health.
Yo, what's up? It's Mitchell and Mitchell Sip and Spill in the building. Today, it's a beautiful, beautiful day because we are here talking to our guest today, none other than Mr. Devin Mitchell, a.k.a. I just started calling you Vino, right? a.k.a. Vino in the Mickey Ficky house, goddammit. And it's none other than, it's a beautiful thing because today is a day that we're highlighting somebody that's very, very important to our company, to our brand, to our Mitchell and Mitchell and Black Prism Evolution Project, which is, maybe go ahead and introduce who this person is, Miss Kimmy Kim.
What's up, y'all? So today I get to be interviewing my very own seed, my son, Devin Mitchell, which I'm so happy to have you here with us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Brace me because, I'm still going to be mama, you know. But no, you got the platform to talk about. So we wanted to bring my son on. Y'all know that as of lately, you all been seeing us do Black Prism Evolution Project. We've been talking about men that's been in and out of being incarcerated and then getting out and getting on their feet, and the programs with our nonprofit organization of how we are moving forward with that. So if you've seen us do, Ed himself, aka Sip, that's the founder of Black Prism Evolution Project, and then you saw us do with Wendell Robinson. You also saw us do with Mac Hagerman. I want to say that, but it's real name Harold, and that was what we just recently put out, as well as Gerald. Well, he is not put out, but Gerald Gibson's is put out. That was the last one that we did, that we put out, and you all will kind of see where we're going. But this one will be our last one, and we wanted to hit home with people that pretty much resonate with Devin. Devin started at a very young age, things that he has experienced. So we wanted to kind of hope this would be things that young men that I know that have talked about this plenty of times, the things that they have went through. So that's where we kind of want to go with that. And so check us out and make sure you listen in to this one. So this one's going to be a game changer for me because it's my own child. Okay.
Okay. All right. So Devin, first of all, I have a couple questions for you. First question I have to ask for you is this. Number one, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good.
So with all the things you've experienced, but just in life in general, how you feel like when you came here today? How did you feel like? How do you feel deep down? Like, how do you really feel like for real?
I feel good. I experienced a lot in life, but I was just getting out the highway now. So I got smiles on my face. They take away a lot driving. I like driving, so I ain't really in no dozed off mood coming in today.
Okay. Because the thing I asked that is, I want to let you know, just from brother to brother, man to man, is that regardless of what you've been through,
right,
you accept it.
Exactly.
And you haven't met me yet, but I rock with you.
For sure.
And so whatever you've dealt with before, to me, is irrelevant as far as anything looking in any kind of, like, oh, you did this, you did that. As far as I'm concerned, I have kids your age and older that I fool with, you know what I'm saying, that I love unconditionally. So my first thing is I always ask you, like, how are you? What's going on with you? I do have another question for you. And if somebody was to ask you, this particular question, I want to know if you can give me this answer. Who is Devin Mitchell? Who are you?
I'm a father of 4, a working man. I'm Devin Mitchell. You know, I've been shot. You know, been through trials and tribulations. I think most people have, but you know, it's just like it's an ongoing. Like now, it's like the finishing chapter where like I can start the word a successful chapter. You know, in my life story, because I've been, you know, through a lot. But I feel like what don't kill you make you stronger. So it's just only making me a better and better person at the end of the day.
So I guess when I ask, who are you? Who do you see yourself? Not necessarily like, okay, your title, like, you know, you work and you have kids, but like to the soul of you. If you was to talk to God or something, they say, yo, who are you? Like, how do you envision yourself? If I was to draw you or draw some artwork or make a video about you, what would that be? What kind of colors or what kind of vibes would be in that? What kind of music would be in that?
Yeah. Okay, if we was to draw a picture of me and what would be in my background, I'd say it'll be music notes for sure, because I love music. I've been doing music myself. It'll be envisioned things behind me, like baby material, like teddy bears or something, due to the fact like I relate to my children. It'll be experiences of money situations, ups and downs though, in the picture. So it'll be like when I smiled with money, but when I was down without it. You know what I mean? So it'll be like it'll show like bars, me behind bars to begin with, due to the fact the most drama that I was really going through was in there. So it'll just be everything all in one.
So let's say you didn't have children and you didn't experience behind the bars. Who is Devin Mitchell without all of those things?
I'm an artist.
You're an artist. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm an artist. Without all that, I'm an artist. I've been doing the music way before that. So yeah, if you want to say who is Devin, what my goal is, yeah, I like doing music. I do music. Devin is an artist. Devin be striving to do musical things.
Okay. So I guess we can go down, if you don't mind, bring us down to, I guess, give us like a background or backdrop of what maybe the experiences you dealt with, you experienced, and what got you to a point where you had, okay, I got popped for this, or this happened, or whatever. What was the trail, the path that made those things kind of happen? What started that?
Well, first tragedy, I can't really explain. I don't really know. My mama could tell you. When I was born, I couldn't really swallow like that. So I had to get my esophagus and get surgery done within me to where I was born. And Houston, but got transferred to a different hospital. Throughout the procedures that they needed to do for me, it wasn't going to be able to be done at the hospital I was born at. So that's the kick off the rocker. And then moving from Texas to Wisconsin, growing up as a kid, it was all right. Then it got rocky along the way. I want to say in like elementary, things started going up and down with me. It's like basically I was finding myself throughout the process. I'm 8 years old, I'm getting friends around my house, learning what I do like and I don't like, and things like that. So, but the tragedies that occurred, like, I don't know, elementary school was all right, but then it was just like, once I started to like get into fights and then I started to think I was grown, then before I know it, I had to be grown. So it was like up and down.
What caused you to get into fights? What was that about?
Not understanding certain things. So like I get into fights, like basically saying if somebody trying to tell me something and it'll go to the left, like I ain't trying to understand what he's saying. Or it'll be like miscellaneous things as if like, we kids, so this elementary school, little kids, we get into about video games, little crap like that.
Okay.
Wrestling matches on WWE, or we used to watch
stuff
like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
just anything kids argue about. But I felt like it'll get to the extreme because it'll be like my aggression. I get to where it wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm mad to the point to where I'm just using words. It'll just get to either that person to feel like my words too effective, or I feel like his words is, and then it just go.
What do you think caused that type of aggression? Where, because we say this in my martial arts gym, we say, well, words don't suffice, blows must follow. Meaning, like, I'm done talking. What got you to the point where you felt like, okay, we talking, or y'all was playing, but now it's like we finna becoming real with it. What caused that rage to want to come out like that at that age in elementary school?
I don't know. I just seen a lot of arguments going on around me, so I felt like the aggression came from, like, I seen that before. So I felt like with me, I felt like when it come down to me arguing or being in place in that type of situation, I just give it my all. And I felt like I focused more on my anger than I focused on being happy, because I felt like, a lot of times I seen like arguments, everybody seen household arguments, or outside of the household arguments. There's everything in the process of me growing up. And then it went from, a happy procedure due to a family, then up and down, we was just happy on it and it went to separation. So it's just like up and down, up and down. Can't nobody really control what come my way, but I feel like then along the way, I went to prison due to the fact that I was robbing. I had my first kid when I was 16. So when I was 16, I felt like I was, grown. I was getting to high school. I'm getting kicked out of school or whatever due to the fact that I'm impressing females or whatever, just being class clown instead of focusing on my schoolwork and stuff like that. Even though, moms, tell me like, dude, you supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing in school. Like, I do my work or whatever. My pops here being while he was like, man, it's my pops too. So, and I say like, along that road, it'll just be like, I go left, I be not listening to what people got to say. I'm doing the most because I feel like I'm grown now. Then I got a kid. So then it was like, we went from being straight and taken care of, and then it went to me being 16 and my brother, I was, and I felt like that affected me a lot, to where I felt like I couldn't do anything for myself. Like, even if people was helping me, it was just like, I felt like at the age I was and me having my own kid, I was like, I felt like I had to do. So then I started to rob, it felt like it was comfortable because at the end of the day, well, what I was robbing, it didn't matter if it was just quarters out of a car, it's just like, I was just wanting to be able to get Pampers without having to call my mom, call my dad, without even people knowing I'm doing this. I'm just doing it to be doing it. You know what I mean? Just so I wouldn't have to ask nobody else, like, could you help me with this or could you help me with that? Because I'm, like I said, I'm 16. I can't really get no job. Like, I could seek for a job, but like, it was like more like I wanted it to happen now. Like, I could wait for a job, but my kid need milk right now, or I need a pacifier right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I ain't have to call. I want to always be like, Mom, could I, just me in general, I felt like I was grown, just hearing the fact and knowing the fact I got a kid. And I think that led me down the wrong direction to being like, all right, now I'm out here in the streets and I'm putting myself in situations where I'm robbing, jail coming ahead of me, police keep having run-ins with me. I'm getting dropped off at home, being in a position where it's like, not my mom and dad giving me whippings or whatever, but at the same time, they going through what they going through. Then my brother going through it. Like, everybody's got their own thing going on. And it was just like, I just was too busy just trying to focus on making sure I got my little world taken care of. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of seeking out or asking for advice or asking for anybody, I just felt like I was a closed-minded person at the time. I was a know-it-all. So at 16, I felt like I was a know-it-all, and that started putting me in situations where I'm robbing or going to jail, going to prison. And then I got a kid at that. You know what I'm saying? I got a kid, and then I'm going to jail. I ain't even supposed to be doing nothing that put me in the situation to go to jail when I got a kid. So that was the first mistake I made. My kid was only 6 months. I went to jail. Now I'm in jail, sad, tell my mom, like, Mom, could you buy me out? You know what I'm saying? Wanting to go to the crib. Eventually, it played a factor to where I was able to get bonded out. You know what I'm saying?
Did you feel like you couldn't What made you feel like you had to do? Did you feel like you couldn't go to your family to say, "Hey, I need this," because you felt, or what was that? Where did that pride come from? Where you're like, "Man, I don't want to bother them with it," or "I'm too grown to be asking them for that." Where did that come from? Where you felt like, because a lot of kids, they don't get that until they get way older. They just like, "Man, I'm gonna ask for it all the way through." Like if they need a quarter, they're gonna like, "Mom," they're gonna ask for every dime. What made you have that type of pride at such a young age?
Because at that age, it was like, for one, we just moved from living in Racine where we had a big house, right, to moving into my brother's crib. You know, my mom got my little brother, you know what I'm saying? My dad, you know, he doing what he's supposed to be doing, but you know, things just went left. It was nobody control, you know what I'm saying? But same time, and then next thing you know, boom, I pop up with a kid. So it's just like I just wanted them to focus on what they had to focus on. You feel me?
Mhm.
It's already crazy enough, you know. I got a kid at 16. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I was doing. They didn't make me have no kid at 16. They didn't ask me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like it was my responsibility. That's filling in some big shoes, most def. But I had a feeling, man. I did what I could do.
That is a lot of people don't probably give that a lot of they don't look at that, but that's that part of being a man where you say, you know what, I gotta step up to the plate. I made this decision, or I had this child. I won't ever say a mistake because God, kids are blessings. I will never
Yeah.
speak that on your babies, but you had that situation you was in, so you're like, well, let me fix it, especially when other things are going on. So let me and this is what you knew to do. So you
Right.
went into that, and that kind of took you to a path of like, okay, now you're doing these things. Because I know a lot of times, especially in the system, you know, a lot of times the I'm not trying to throw the police in the bus, but it is what it is. They kind of know, they like, okay, well, they gonna pull up on you because they just feel like you on some shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? So once you get like a reputation, or so to speak, a reputation, especially in certain areas, they kind of just pull up on you. And you might be doing something, you may not be doing something. Did you kind of run into that situation where it's like you was already damned if you did or didn't? Or because they was already, because you've been doing things. Did that happen too? Where it was like, okay, they own you. Like you can't make a move. Like we're gonna pull up on him first, see if he did this, or pull up on you and see what you're doing, and you might be doing something. Was that
No, I hung
experience?
around a group of guys that, you know, I hung around and we was kids, you know. I'm a kid, like I said, I'm 16. So I was also around the environment, like, yeah, of course, me and my environment had a eye watched on us due to the fact of the things that we did around town. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it helped us know better to go to jail, and the situation happened where a lot of things went left. So it's like I went to jail, like snitching allegations and all that came into effect and things like that, to where it went worse. To where I came home, I just was just by myself. Like, even though I still be by myself, but then I did grow into effect to where I started rapping. So it's like I'm rapping now, I'm kicking it. And then because I got booked 2016, I got bonded out January 2017. I went back to jail July 2017 because, like I said, I was younger then. I wanted to make the same mistake again, but that was the mistake that corrected me. So, but I wound up going to jail then from July 2017, coming home November 20th of 2018, which is like I'm basically year and a half here, 7 months here, year and a half here, you know, 7 months here. So then boom, I come home from that year and a half. My little brother was in a situation. Now we working. I came home under the act of worrying about getting my brother out of jail. So I wasn't even thinking about, you know, coming home and doing me. It was just like, oh, boom, my brother in a situation. You know, I'm coming from that type of situation. I would want. So me and mom's working on that. Boom, my brother get bonded out in 2019. Then 2019, me and my brother rapping. But along me being in jail, my brother was already rapping. So then I came home, I was already rapping too, but I ain't really was rapping for real. Brother be rapping for real. So boom, I come home, I'm rapping, his guys or whatever connect with me. And then I get to go into the studio with them around 2019. And then at the end of 2019, September the 15th, I lost my cousin Keyshawn. And that's when I completely went left. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it been right since then. So it's like if you ask me, the chapters that went along after that date, you know what I'm saying? I'm still working on them.
And you saying so that situation caused you to kind of stay in that mode of whatever was going on. You kind of mentally or whatever it did to you at that moment, it kept you in that space of like whatever, it's whatever.
Yeah, because it was like, dang, all right, I'm doing good now. You know, I'm rapping or whatever. No, I'm feeling good now. You know, I'm in mode in 2019. So I came home in 2018. Boom, now my brother out. Boom, now we kicking it. We having fun or whatever. You know, I'll type his line. He'll type my line every now and then. But boom, he gone. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying like, you know, we going wild on record, but yeah, that like took a toll on me a whole lot. And then boom, 2020, I got shot myself. So then that put a toll on me to where I felt like, nah, I can't even take this route, because it was like me and my mom, you know, she had conversations with me to where it put me in start in my head to where it's like, all right, now it's time to just focus on me and moving around. Cause it's like, yeah, niggas gonna be like, and it took a lot for me to do that due to the fact of the things that I was doing in Kenosha and how it was going and how everything was. That's just leaving a whole life behind, you know, just because of a tragedy. And niggas may be like, oh, he soft, he this, he that, you know, he bogus, you know. But really, yeah, eventually it settled in my head to where I just stopped being careful. Like what people say, because it was like I got shot and I had a son on the way. So boom, my son, he was born up here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm skipping over chapters though, because 2019 I came home and then while I was gone though, from 2017 to 2018, another kid was born while I was in jail.
Okay.
I'm skipping over chapters. Right? Let me back up a minute. My daughter Denaya was born while I was in jail. So 2019 was a whole nother chapter due to that too. So then in 2019, I'm getting to know my daughter and stuff like that too. And then at the end of 2019, after the situation with Keyshawn got killed September 15th, 2019. Then my daughter got to, you know, in October of 2019.
So just a month later, after you lost your cousin
Keyshawn.
You lost him, and then your daughter was born a month after that.
My daughter was I had a little run-in where my daughter had a little situation going on, but I got her back now. So
okay.
That's just a tragedy that just went on. But I got her.
This happened while you was gone, though, right?
No, yeah, I wasn't around. I was out of town when this situation went on with my daughter. So
okay,
I wasn't around at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me intervene and pause for a minute. And I want to kind of get to where so everybody can understand why we're doing an interview with you. At 16 years old, becoming a parent and then being subjected to an environment where there was a lot of fighting and you were adjusting to what was going on in your life and who you were. The time that you were growing up, it was a challenge when you were born. You was trying to explain that. Mm-hmm. So Devin was born without the ability to swallow. Mm-hmm. So, which was really heartbreaking as his mother, of course, because I literally gave birth. I touched him one little finger and he was taken by helicopter to another hospital where I didn't get to see him till almost like 3 weeks later. Because I became very sick. So it was a hard pregnancy.
They didn't even think, you know, because I'm so pale. They like, is he really even our son? You know what I'm saying?
So with that, however,
okay.
So he came off, I would say, he kind of started off being my miracle son because we didn't know if he was going to make it because thank God for the nurse, Devin turned blue, completely blue. And in her arms as they were, suctioning him out when he first came out. So that's why I never got to meet him until 3 weeks later they got me under control. Then I was rolled in and meet him in a wheelchair, but he was so light-skinned. So they didn't think I was his mama. Okay, but just moving, we just kind of want to start off with I had to make a decision, me and his father, that he had to have a surgery that would end up tying part of his stomach to his esophagus. So that left Devin without the ability to eat, so he had to have a feeding tube. So imagine being a kid, a baby, my baby, and I had to feed him with a feeding tube until he learned to have the ability to swallow, which affected him throughout life, even though he, after 6 months and getting out the hospital and all that, he was able to learn how to swallow. So the food went down and everything went down, but we still have to watch him. So what he did lose the ability of is to be able to throw up. So so that kind of in his life, for us going to school and just going to anybody's house or just being around, we always have to watch his intake. So, and that was can be stressful for him because we want to make sure, and then we have to, look at him and see how he was. We couldn't let nobody watch him. There was always just between me and his dad. So moving on, we end up leaving Texas. We come back and, Devin, you start going to school. As he started going to school, Devin always came off as angry. So he was diagnosed with ADHD, right?
Yeah.
And then he was going up and down, and that also came to play with who he was. I would say who he was. He developed a certain. You develop your little personality, as he say. So as he's constantly skipping different stages, developing your personality. So let's get to the part where, you come home and you tell me that Mama, I'm about to have a baby. And I think that was it was more shocking for him than it was for me. However, Demai was born, my beautiful granddaughter, and she was also born with the same thing with that. And went in the hospital. So it was like
premature.
We relived it all over again. So I was at the hospital with her day in and day out. Like I didn't want to leave every day. Yeah. So not only did he become a father, but he had a father with a child that was born with an illness similar to what he had as a baby. So he was wrapping his head around that.
So as I'm learning my kid, I'm learning myself.
Right. So he's becoming a father and still being my son and still, and then so he's developing it, but he also dealt, and you can tell me if I was wrong, I think there was a lot of anger going on because there was a lot of stuff happening to him like this. You know what I mean? The stuff in our home, everything was different like that. So we get to the place, Devin, where you started to get angry. And I used to tell you all the time, that's going to have you under the jail, so to speak. Right. So the incarceration started. What I want you to tell people is that how when you were locked up at such a very young age, the things that you experienced, what was your mind space then? Because some people will say, well, you was acting up, you was acting a damn fool, and you should have went your ass to jail. Some people will say that. I mean, I'm just saying, that's what happens. But actually, everybody's dealing with some type of mental something that's going on within them that they have to learn and grow into and get through. So I want you to tell young men that's currently going through like you and experience that they became a father at a young age. They had different things in the elements of their home. When you were sentenced, you was in and out, but the courtroom was my worst place to be with you. Right. But the time I want you to just hone in on this time. The time when the judge said 4 years. At that moment, how I damn near passed out. Remember that? That's the moment I want you to tell what happened to you from the day when you had to accept that. You wasn't coming home. All you can do was just nod your head to me and your dad and your brothers, and that's all you could do. That's all you could do. Tell us about it.
Okay, for one, I had to get it broken down to me what they mean by the 4 years, because it was like it was all ran wild. So it was like 18 months in, 18 months stayed, 18 months of parole, 3 years probation, 3 years parole. So it was just like, come on. So, but it was all ran concurrent, so I was positive about that. So the fact that I had to do it the way I thought, I was cool. That whole situation, actually, them trials and tribulations going through jail was not cool due to the fact the case was about it was about like 5 of us on it. And then when it began, it was like, we was young, so everybody made a mistake. So I'm gonna just say it like that.
Okay, so you in jail now. You're around grown ass men, and they saying all, you know what I'm saying. So you can't be that little boy, right? So you there, and that mindset, that mentality, how you would say that you kind of resonated with. Okay, wow, I'm in prison. I'm not going home. I'm not going to see my sisters, my brothers, my mama. You know what I mean? Tell us about that. How you were when you were in there. Where a young man that is experiencing anger and issues right now, you don't want him to ever go anywhere near there, like your little brother, like your sons. You don't want them to ever go through that. Well, tell us about that mindset right there.
Well, that mindset right there, I be trying hard not to even think about it no more, because it's like you got to really be reminded back into that moment to actually 100% come out with the way it feel. But in my predicament, when I was in that position, I was just thinking as if like going to jail for one, no, it ain't no good idea. Then I'm thinking like I'm gonna be able to, help out with my kid. I'm thinking like, what's going on with my little brother out there? Because my little brother, he funny. I don't know what could really go on. I know we was outside a lot, so anything could really happen. I don't know what's going on with my mom. Time passing, and I'm sitting in a situation where I can't walk outside. I can't go down the street. Salty in the mud because I really want to go outside and kick it. See people that love me. Not actually realizing how many people that it would affect by being placed into that situation was really the main thing. Because it would be like, I'll call home and so many people would be like, oh, we miss you, you know what I'm saying? Dang, where you been? Like, dang, and then like time go on where it was like a lot of people didn't even answer. So it was like, it just began to where it affected me in general. Because it was like I had a baby on the way at the same time and me going to prison. So I'm in prison with the process of I got a baby on the way. I already have a baby out there on the street. My mom getting older without her son being around. My little brother getting older and having to play the role of me because I'm not around. You know what I'm saying? Younger brothers and bigger brothers getting older. My brother got married while I'm in that situation. So it's just like everybody's life was proceeding and going forward. Life just steady escalating. The minds was on pause. It ain't feel good to be on pause. So I wasn't really want that for my people at all.
What did you feel like when it was happening? How did you feel during those processes when like your brother got married and these things going on? How did that make you feel? Did it make you feel like, damn,
Yeah, I was salty because I still right now to this day I ain't never experienced no wedding. So yeah, I was salty. My mom and my brothers, they went to California. I ain't never been to California. I'm finna go to Houston. I ain't never been to Houston, but I'm finna go next month.
I want to say something to you, and I want to make sure because your mom is bringing out, I guess, the feelings and the thoughts of, I guess, the processes that you went through, and my thought process is to, and if you would allow me, is to restore you, to encourage you that those things that you felt that you didn't do or whatever is let you know that from today forward, the life you want, you can realistically get it. And we don't have to, even though I know you just said you don't want to relive it because it's like, damn, but we don't want to relive it. We do want to make sure that we capture those moments, because what this is right now, it's not really an interview for you as much as it is a documentary.
Exactly.
You're getting a chance to articulate. So I want you to understand that.
Break it down.
Articulate, and then you get to go back and see what you said. So your kids can hear and see what you said. And then also what it does, it'll show you where you were, where you are now, which would in the future be then, and then where you would be in the future. And you can look back at yourself at 25, right?
Yeah.
And your 25-year-old self as whatever, 35, or whatever age at the time you look at it and say, okay, you see how much you've grown.
Yeah.
And again, my job is to let you know that what you actually want, like I love the fact you said you're gonna go to Houston. That's just one of many places you're going to be able to go. And what we do.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was in Houston in 2021. See, because like I said, my son was born up here in 2020. So in 2021, I had to go to jail again.
Did you?
Yeah, I had run in with going through education with my son and mom.
Okay.
And then after that chapter though, that's when it was like, all right, I'm cool.
So from here on out, projecting is to how you want to build yourself. So my question to you, and if you don't mind, Kimmy, I want to ask you this: what do you see yourself? What do you see for yourself? So I know you're an artist. I know you are a dad, a good father. I know you're a good father. It's in your blood. You're gonna be a good father. I know you had some run-ins, you had some anger things, whatever coming up, seeing things around you that made you flash out, I guess, which I get that. Ain't no knock on that. But besides all of that, what do you see yourself like in the big picture? And not in the generic way. The people say, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, on some real shit, like, where do you see yourself? What kind of life you want? So I'm gonna give you an example. Like, if you say, hey, what kind of life you want? Well, this is how I feel. I want to move how I want to move, when I want to move. Right? I mean, when I say move, like, I'm about to go to France real quick, right? Right? But I want to do that knowing I got
the funds to do that.
Not just that, right? With the crib, I want to hear water. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to have peace around me. I don't want a whole bunch of, and so for me, what do you envision yourself, your ultimate? Not even talking about 90 years old, 80 years old, 50 years. I'm talking about like 30 years old, 32, 35.
I envision myself at 30 years old, and for one, not in Wisconsin. You know, for one, I just got to play that now.
Okay.
Not in Wisconsin, for one, at 30. I envision myself, you know, with a career path that is successful. For two, which is the music, or, you know, I'm starting to take a factor of carpentry and like painting, because I be painting on cribs right now. So, been doing that for a little while. So, I say my factor, I say in the near future is to do any type of work of that.
So you like painting?
Yeah.
I get a good friend of mine is a painting contractor, Union in Chicago.
That's good.
Donnie, it's my buddy Donnie, and Donnie, I'm gonna tag you in this video so your ass can look out for my boy. But he about his money. He about his bread, and that's a good contract. Carpentry, anything like that. I always advocate for that. So you basically see yourself doing, like I said, kind of in the move how you want. But at 30, working in your career out of Wisconsin. No knock to people who live in Wisconsin, but outside of Wisconsin. So, and then doing something.
I ain't knocking people that live
right. No, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about me. I laughed when you said it, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. But what you're saying is that you want to be different place where you in your career and being able to move how you want to move, and make sure you're taking care of your kids, basically, right? Yeah. Make sure they good, right? Super good, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
100%.
So the next question, which you started to answer, was like, well, what's your idea, at least projected wise, how you plan on making that happen? But you basically saying getting a career, and at least you talk about those two trades. So that's kind of like how you plan on getting there on your music. That's how you plan on getting that life you want.
Yeah, I plan on using that to get to where I want to go. Well, all other aspects too. So it's like, okay, I work a job. You know, it's all type of things that make money now, legit. So it's like I'm everywhere. Investments, you know, dabble games, you know, all type of things that you can invest your money into. How many? Just put it like that. So it's going. And what I'm using that for in the near future is to, like, I want to be able to own vending machines, like place vending machines. I say like 4. Each vending machine itself, I say, comes from 1,500 to 4,000. So I want to be able to invest into like 4 or 5, but and 2 of them, like, cause right now the location I'm at is Wisconsin. So I'll place 2 in the city that I live in, and then I'll place more in other cities. You know what I mean? But at the same time, right now you got to start from the ground up. So I'll say I'll place like 2 right here, and in them though it'd be like stuff that's not out here. Like I'll get like material from Illinois, like food and candies and stuff like that. I place them into vending machines or whatever up here. That's what I want to do. And then with that being that task, owning enough money from those to be able to invest into my own store.
And those are realistic goals and stuff like that. So going back to where mom was going to, as far as the processes of how you felt when the judge made that statement, as far as your citizen, how you felt. Obviously, you don't have to relive it, but going through that, and like I said, we documented it so you could see where you were and how you articulated how you felt at the time. But then also the emotional, the mental stages you were in, like the process of what you were going through. Let's talk about real quick, if you don't mind, your first, like how you felt when you first went behind the wall. Like, what was that feeling like? What was the what was the first thing you had to like? Because I know when I went in, it was kind of like it was a real quick, like damn, a whole 180. Like, man, what is this, nigga? This is wild.
My life, no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that due to the fact that, boom, my first day to go to jail. I'm in the pod. We go upstairs. We go in the bullpen first night. So I'm in the bullpen. I'm asking questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm asking like, what it's gonna be like. You know what it is here and things like that. They giving me the advice, and then I get upstairs. We go with our linen. We get an exchange of our linen, and we go to our dorms, our cells. The first pod I was on J pod when I first went to Kenosha County Jail. And then I went from there to a different facility called KCDC. KCDC is where I really started to like, all right, okay, this is it. Like a fight started to occur. But it ain't like too miraculous. It ain't like wow, like as if it was like a down south jail or nothing like that. But I mean, if it's run-ins, fights, I feel like ups and downs is everywhere though. So I just say like, yeah, me seeing guys get into altercations and stuff like that, it affected me, but I felt like already seeing people get into it and things like that on the street. So it was like I was prepared, but at the same time I was nervous because it was like you never know how wild it could get. Because at the same time, you in jail, you ain't at the crib to where you could like bail out and walk down the street or something. You know what I'm saying? Or be like, so where you could avoid an altercation. It's like if you splat in the middle of altercation, you gotta face it head on. Ain't no walking down the street. Ain't no running or going this place, that place. Like, no, my life, when you wake up, go to bed, you still right here with me.
Straight right there with me. So, and I know one of the things I learned, you can't say nothing about it. You can't, if you ain't fighting, you can't shit. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because either way, you ain't in it. Especially if you ain't in none of those cars or whatever. So if that ain't your thing, you ain't in it. But and so one thing I learned though, a lot of times people say, I think the world think that it's really, really, it's some crazy stuff going on, but they make it seem like it's so crazy, treacherous, or so crazy. But one thing I know I learned is that a lot of things are very upside down. Like things that's cool in the world ain't really cool in there, and cool in there ain't really. It's like opposite in a lot of ways. The way we move around and stuff. So it's really tripped out.
It be like demanding. So it's like, all right, we got parents in life, right? But it's like COs, they a whole different bracket because it'd be like, you ain't supposed to do this, you ain't supposed to do that. And they can come in their own mood and their own act. Oh, you ain't supposed to be over here. Like, hold on, I was just over here yesterday with the last COE.
Right.
Hold on, that his rules ain't violent with mine. Hold on, bro. And then they'll kill me with just they crib, like all that Insta stuff, like, well, like the COs, yeah. I just say like in that field, yeah, it's corrupted. So yeah, so.
He said you ain't lying about that. Each CEO got their own little set of like, I don't give a damn what you was doing this for the whole week, 2 week, whatever. Another CEO come in and everything you do is a violation. Damn near.
Hold on, right? I get rolled up.
Yeah, you getting rolled up. They writing all type. But you like, I was just doing this, and then you can't really say because now you throwing the other. You know what I'm saying? You in a weird space because now you like, in your mind you like, man, this was cool yesterday. Woo woo. Now y'all saying I can't do it and everything is straight violation. You writing me up. You writing, and it's like. Now you really can't say nothing because now they, you know what I'm saying? So it's that right there is crazy.
But then but then another reason too, like when I was a deal, like a lot of people was there. I knew a lot of people. So like I ain't gonna say like Like I got this world, but like I got around. So I say like I know a lot of people, so it's like me being in there my first time getting in there. I was around people I knew, so it was just like I was like, wow, they giving me a description of what it's gonna go out like. But it was like I knew a couple people that was in there, so it guided out throughout. It was I just said like the CEOs made it worse and worse and worse.
I don't know if you have a question for me, but I do have one question for you. If you were to tell another brother, let's say a young 17-year-old cat, you were like, you see what they own. That's if you're interested in doing. You say they own what they own. You like, what would you tell a young brother that's like 16, matter of fact, 15-year-old cat, right? He out here trying to smash, do whatever. And he, moving around. And you see kind of similar like vibe with him and you like, you like, man, he kind of remind me of what stuff I was on. What would you tell Shorty about what he should or shouldn't do? I mean, and I know if you like me,
I'll tell him he going down the wrong path. If I say I'll start from the beginning, and tell him slow down. Like if I could go back, I feel like what you basically trying to ask me is like if I could go back on my old self and have a conversation with me. So I say if I'm having a conversation with my younger self, I tell myself like, be careful, going up. Don't be just out here just going wild just because you're young and you get a little piece of tail. Because I didn't have a kid early. I say I would have told myself like the streets ain't where it's at. Instead of looking at it on YouTube, they told me like, oh, like YouTube man was in it. I would have like, but like even though YouTube, like I'm not gonna say like my mom and them wasn't telling us like, oh yeah, y'all ain't supposed to be on YouTube and stuff like that because we was. But I say like I would have strictly like, no, that ain't what's in it. I would have took you to like where you needed to go, like to what you needed to be done.
Do you think your parents were too strict on you, or made you try to be? Let me not listen to that, or do you think your parents are too kind of chill, too cool? Like my kids would probably say I was too laid back in some ways. In some ways,
say they was up and down. Up and down, because what I mean by up and down is like basically like I just expressed what was going on. It was just like one time, like it'll be like sometimes I get in trouble over something and I get whooping, you know what I mean? Then there'll be certain things that I wouldn't. So it'll be like, damn long. And then I started to take advantage. Like I'm grown now, so yeah, like sometimes I get a whooping, they thinking I'm getting a whooping. I'm putting extra pairs of pants on. You know what I'm saying? So I was just worse. So I felt like if it was me telling me again how to do it, I'd have just been on my heels more, making sure that I pay attention to what needed to be done and always making sure I got a book in front of me. I wasn't even told me to watch wrestling because I felt like it kicked off with me watching wrestling. I seen Triple H do the pedigree. I started trying to do it at school.
All type of stuff. Do you think were you one of those kids that like played the parents between each other? Like, okay, dad is cool on this and mom not cool on that, and vice versa, or you feel like they both was mean about the same thing?
Yeah, and then like
about the same thing.
No, I felt like I was the kid that'll be like, all right, mom ain't listening, so my dad do it. It'd be crazy, right now, because like my son, that's how he is. Like he basically, I'll be like, if I don't tell him like he could do it, he'll go to his mom and she'll tell him like, oh yeah, he could do it, But like it'd be like that, like kids do that, they play one for another, but when you got your mind together, it work even better. But yeah, I was the kid that played one for another.
I would do that. My kids try to play that too. They'll go and they ask their mama something. Their mama was always saying no. I was always saying yeah. So I was getting popped off. Me and her were getting to it all the time because the kids they ask her at first. They always ask mom for it. Then they start asking me and shit. But first they like say, mom, hell no. She always hell no off the jump. Ain't nothing, it don't matter what it is. No. They come to me like, oh, it's cool, you can do that. So they go do that. They like, what the hell they doing this for? What's going on? I'm like, I told them all. I said, I just told them, So I would get me and her going at it. Like, why are you tripping on them doing it? Because I think ain't no problem with it. So then I started busting the move where they come hit me with it. I'm like, man, ask your mom. Because I know she going to say no. Now, If it's some real, if she being real bogus, I'll be like, all right, cool. Let me holler at her real quick, right? If it's not, just try to plead they case with them, but they try to play me with that, and I was on some old. They was trying to run that move on me, man, move on her. But so basically, do you feel like at this point now you kind of curtailed the whole, you know what I'm saying, I'm mad, let me go ahead and do the pedigree on somebody, or are you past that point where you're not really going off of that jumping like that, or you still counted that?
No, I'm at the point now where I feel like I'll use my words more than I be aggressive and use like actions. I mean, it took me a long time, but I'm still working on it. Like I'm still making mistakes along the way, but I feel like now where I'm at the stage I'm at right now, I feel like I'm finally at the chapter where it's like I'd rather just argue and express myself, and hopefully you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it, maybe what meant for you to hear it, we ain't meant to be having no conversation. But I feel like nowadays, instead of going aggressively, I'd be more verbal.
Do you think, along with that, do you think you put yourself in a position where going behind the wall or being in a situation like that, you kind of alleviate those possibilities? You think you've done everything, like at least for the most of what you know, like so that you won't be in a situation where you know what I'm saying? Like
Cause like okay, let me just put it like this. Like I said, like it took for me to do my last bid that made me like, all right, I'm cool. Cause my first bill came while I'm fighting. I was 17, 16. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting. I'm getting put in positions where I'm getting into it to CO. I'm going to the hall. I had a little girlfriend, my little girlfriend, and did our little dance out here or whatever. Then at the same time, I'm trying to like work with the situation that I got going on, and I'm even in jail for. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I say that was deep, but.
So you would say you put yourself in a position where that ain't you ain't getting caught with the, you know what I'm saying, with the fugazi, where you know what I'm saying, where the trick bag, you ain't putting yourself in the trick bag space no more, where they can just be like pull up on you because
no, because it's like those type of situations that rob me from me and everything. Like it took me a long time though, because it was like I said, I was fighting at first, and then I felt untouchable. I'm in jail, you know. Everybody got that situation to where they in jail. But I say what made me get into the senses of my thoughts was that when I was in jail, this one night, me and this dude named Bear, we chopping it up. He from Milwaukee, I'm from Kenosha. He telling me stories back to back, you know what I'm saying? Back to back about what he got going on in the world, and stuff like that. And then the next day, it was like 9 in the morning. Before lunch, he had lunch at 11:30. In the morning, he on the phone. Like I say, like my cell right here, but through my window on my cell, like in jail, you got a cell like this. But for my cell, you could look up. It was the bottom floor and the top floor. So dude on the top floor.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So on the top floor, he had an argument. The phone's right here, but his cell up there. So he on the phone like 9:30 in the morning arguing with a female, which later on I found out about the whole scenario. But he was on the phone and the girl basically told him like, you know, she ain't want to be with him, and she ain't care about what he had going on, due to the fact like he had dinosaur numbers. He had 23.
Damn.
He had 23. You know, but he was in the middle of it's called appeal.
You're doing an appeal? Okay.
Yeah, he was in the middle of an appeal. But she on the phone and she tell him like, you know, she ain't want to be with him. She wasn't rocking with it.
Talking reckless.
And he went to the left with it to where man, bro, I said like young as hell. So it's
He killed
like
himself?
yeah. So it take him along the power to where it was if it's like it was too heavy for him. So I feel like that situation right there told me like, you know, the world, you know, things happen you can't control. And then my little chick I was talking to while I was incarcerated did the same thing, but like I said, that happened. So before my situation happened, so I knew how to handle myself. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you know, that's what took a toll on me and made me just be like,
it's one thing. I say this all the time. I remember when I was growing up, and I grew up in the Wild Hundreds, in the Chicago, it's called the Wild Hundreds, and my cousin's from the low end. So I grew up.
Yeah, my brother stayed there.
Yeah, I grew up under the 5, all that kind of stuff, right? My family, all that, GDs, all that kind of stuff. So I knew all that little situation, right? So I grew up, everybody I grew up in, I'm like, I'm cool, right? All type of shit going on. But I get a little older, kind of, I think something had my family, we started moving around a little bit because something happened with our house. My dad lost a house, something weird, right? Moved around. Man, I'm like, man, I'm over here. Like, man, these niggas' grass is green. You feel me? Like, I'm seeing niggas with garages and, you know what I'm saying?
Bikes.
I'm seeing cats with, you know what I'm saying, doing all the time. Like, what's going on, G? You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing new different things. And it was because we was moving around, I started seeing cats with like different, like living different lifestyle. And so, man, I'm like, okay. As I started moving around, I'm like, man, niggas, you know, like where I didn't realize where I was at was what fucked up until I was gone from it. Because I lived in it. Like I thought this was whatever. I moved out of it. I say this all the time, like, man, these cats, and it wasn't like it was a major, it wasn't like I went to Bel Air. It was like, niggas, we 3 blocks, you know, 2 blocks down, 4 blocks, you know what I'm saying, somewhere else. I'm like, these cats are, or no, maybe like 2 miles down, whatever it was, but cats was living decent. I'm like, man, these cats do school different, lunch different. So one thing I want to say, I'm gonna say to you so you will understand it. I love what you said earlier about going to a different location, because sometimes you don't realize how limited you are until you get up out of it and look back at it, and you realize that going back to that your celly or across away from you, my man, he wasn't your celly, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say my
like neighbor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in the car. So seeing that, you start realizing, like, damn, you know, you realize like it ain't that. I mean, that's fucked up, but life ain't that fucked up. Like you said, you didn't have them dinosaur numbers at the same time. So now you start seeing, they say a smart man learn from his own mistakes. They say a wise man learn from other people's mistakes.
So I had to, I put it like that. I had to be in them situations, learn from others.
So I just, like I told you earlier, is that my position as a brother, that a young man, or older brother, actually, for you, in your case, to you, where I'm looking at a situation where it's like, they encourage you to say what you're trying to do, what you want to do is very possible. It starts with your mind. Then you start speaking it, and when you start speaking, you actually start acting in it. And you start acting, you start seeing the results of it. And sometimes just that move, you got to bust that move and try, or just put it out there first. You know what I'm saying? To see what happens. So, but it's there for you, man. You know, it's there for you and your experiences. I would like to do a part 2, if you won't mind, Kim, with him. Are you there? Yeah, a part 2 with him. We'll do a part 2. We're not to do it today, but we'll schedule a time to do a part 2. I got an idea how I want to do it. Kim, you got any questions for old Dev or Vino over here?
No, I think I wanted you to have the space, Devin, to talk about stuff that happened to you. I know it wasn't easy and you didn't have to give out a lot of stuff that did happen, but a lot of people don't understand, as a young man, all those different things go into play. And what we're trying to do through Black Prism Evolution Project is to be able to bring light to the situation of where they were, where they at, and where they're going. And I think from the gentleman that I named at the beginning, we talked about all of them, and even Ed, having those experiences, you can kind of resonate with them to see that's where they were and look where they at. And what he's encouraging you, and I'm encouraging you as well, is that anything that you want to happen, you can make it happen, but you need to work on doing it every day. It's not something that you just put it out there. So sometimes people say they have goals, you know, and I'm going to get to that. But if it's not a goal, and it's not something that you actually is going to do, if you're just saying, well, I'm going to do it in 5 and 6 months. It should be something you work on every day. That's that, you know, and so you need to be very purposeful and intentional about everything that you've been through. That didn't happen just to happen. It happened for a reason. Be the wise man and learn from other people's mistakes. But I do want you to, I do want to recognize the guys for all the ones that you and Dylan lost, every last one of them and their mothers. My heart go out to all you all. I remember them coming on the porch at my oldest son's house, and just every last one of them. I was always TT Kim or Mama Kim, and my heart just go out there because I still have my children, but I do not ever not think about them. So Keyshawn was a very wonderful boy who stands out to me. Kevin Porky, to name one.
Cash, Cedric, and all of them mean a lot to me.
Yep. So for them, you and Dylan and everybody else out there that's watching.
Hold on, let me make sure I say damn it, Dejan, you know.
Yeah.
That's my brother for sure. So
we
every single one.
Yep,
every name I name.
Every last one. And then forgive us if we forgot anybody.
Yeah, every single name that I named, forgive me, whoever. Yeah. But every single name I named, they close. They ain't nobody that I know from across the way. Or I used to text them, or we was just Facebook friends.
Right.
No, these people that I grew up with, they was my side-by-side friends, side-by-side homies that I lost. Keyshawn 2019, and then I'm losing them back to back. Dejan 2020, my cousin Brian 2020.
Yeah,
2021, I'm in jail during the sanction. Kevin died. My friend died. Just kicking it out of the club. You feel me? It just went left. Then 2022, my cousin Cass died. It just like, and I don't really like speeding on Cass' situation due to the fact that like he was like the youngest out of all of us, so that wasn't never supposed to happen.
But then none of them forgotten. That's what we want to let everybody know. None of them are never ever will be forgotten. But Devin, let that be your motivation to continue to grow. Is do the things that be all their dreams, whatever they were. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? Live out that. I tell you and Dylan that all the time, is that what you think they would say if they was looking at you in a better position than that they, were in. You're still living. So you've been blessed, and there's a reason why you're still here. Mm-hmm. So take that lesson and make that be your blessing. That's what you were. That's what you have experienced. And now you can go ahead and make all those dreams, from vending machine to being in carpentry and painting to music. You can be everything and anything you want. And that's what we want to leave to everybody. That's what this is about, encouraging people to be more. Just because you experience as a young man, being incarcerated, being on papers, having baby mama drama, child support. And I'm going to go ahead and keep it 100 with you when I say this. Ed have said this, but I want to be very clear when I say this. At the end of the day, if you just laying up fucking smoking having a blunt and smashing and making babies, you know what I'm saying? You really ain't got nothing doing, and you're doing hustle, and you look back and be like, damn, I ain't did nothing with my time, and there are people around you dying, then you might want to take a look within yourself. Because if you really want better, you can. You don't have to let what happened to you. It happened for a reason. So only you can turn it around. And that's what I tell my sons. And that's what I'm telling every young man out there. At Black Prison Revolution Project.
I've been turning it around, though. I've been turning everything elevating, it's just a process.
Absolutely. You turned it around, currently where you at right now. And that's why you're here to tell a story, to inspire someone else. But I do want to say that I want to leave this. We have a thing that we say at BPEP called the Marie Effect. And that is, with us, we will wrap our arms around you and show you that in this place, you are accepted and loved. Mm-hmm. And you can come home and you can holler at us. So we're going to be your girl. I'm your girl. Ed is your boy. And you can holler at us. We your brother. We your sister. We got you. But you just got to be able to know that. And sometimes people have not heard that, So that's the space and the place that we at. So we're going to be dropping all our handles. You can definitely email us at Black Prison Revolution Project It's Black Prism Evolution, I believe, at gmail.com. And then you can check us out on the Sip and Spill group. You can also check us out on Black Prism Instagram, as well as our Sip and Spill Mitchell and Mitchell's Instagram, as well as our Facebook. But holler at us, get at us. We want to talk to you all. Y'all want to give us some feedback. Tell Devin what's up. Give us some encouraging, motivating words. That's what we all about. And any other organization that would like to collab with Ed and I through our Black Prism Revolution nonprofit organization, definitely get at us. You can't miss us.
And keep your mind on $1 million, man. That's what the chain says. That's what it means.
That's what's
keep
up.
Your mind on $1 million.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, like, we like you, we love you, we want more of you, and it's been real and it's been fun. And every time we do our show, every time we connect with our people, get down with our young brothers and our kids, we got mad love.
That's right.
It's always, don't ever get it twisted. I don't give a fuck what nobody said, Joe. It's always real motherfucking fun. Holler back at your peoples.
Peace, y'all.